Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the worst Warmachine channel on the internet. I'm Malorian, and it's time for another Warmachine Battle Report. Now, in this one here, I'm changing things up. I'm playing my Signar, and I'm doing some Haley2. So this is a Haley2 list that I've shown on the channel here before. I like it a lot. Lots of shooty, control, and then if you blink wrong and miss it, that dynamo comes at you from nowhere and just stabs you in the face. You know, between TK and temporal acceleration and locomotion, there's a lot of threat in that dynamo. So I am loving this list, loving what it does. And, you know, sometimes it's good to not be playing mercenaries, so I like to change things up now and then. Now, my opponent, this is the same opponent where last battle report I was talking about our Brawl Machine games with his circle versus me, and this is the game we played right after. We did some Brawl Machine, and then after we did a regular game. And for this one here, he's going to be trying out Bradigus. Now, Bradigus, he's not usually a circle player. He's not usually definitely even a Bradigus player. He's getting to learn the faction more. And so he wants to try out Bradigus. Now, the reason why I want to stress this is that in this matchup, this is probably one that he wouldn't normally want to play into, and we'll talk about that after, but just, you know, the full credence to my opponent here, he's a good player, but there's going to be some bad things going to be happening here, and we'll talk about that why in a little bit. Now, what he has in his list is a whole bunch of rocky things and well things. So all the little rocky guys will get up there. They don't seem very dangerous, except Bradigus has synergy. And then all of a sudden those little guys, they can actually punch really hard, especially when you have the other pieces here that are making it punch even harder. And then of course there's some actual heavies that then hit really hard. So yeah, it's an interesting list into a lot of situations, and what I'm going to need to do here is to really control it. So my game plan going into this is that I would love to think that this is a live scenario that I could win, but that normally doesn't happen against rocks that you can't move around. So what's probably going to happen here then is that I'm going to go up and I'm going to have to attrition the hell out of him until maybe he gives me a chance at assassination. But if I'm not careful, these can get into me, and with synergy, even those lights can be killing off my battle engines and stuff. So I do have to be very careful. So on my first turn here, what I'm going to be doing is really just getting up the board. I'm going to be going up and I'm going to be creating a trencher buster on the right with my good old Nemo 4, putting up the lightning shroud up to Dynamo, rushing him up so he's a really big threat. I really feel that on that side there, that package will be able to dominate that side and be scoring the flag while I'm doing work, shooting things in the middle. Meanwhile, yeah, battle engines on the left just running up, TK'd them up a little bit further just to be a little bit more threatening. They get their tokens, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my first turn. So on his turn, he does get a little bit of work into me. He's able to do a few shots into my Firefly. I really don't care about that. You know, I didn't want to go so far back that he couldn't do anything. But I mean, like, between my objective repairing it and Strange Ways repairing it, it's whatever. He did a little bit of damage. I'm going to fix it up. Otherwise, you can see where he has the sentry stones with the little tree men going up on the flanks. They're really just there just to try and contest while Bradigus does his main thing. And otherwise, yeah, his main little rock lights there are saying, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be +4 armor, so good luck trying to kill me. However, the one thing that I did see is that there's this heavy here on the left that's getting a little bit saucy and a little bit close. Now, one of the things I can do, because let's just talk about the matchup here. I'm going to have a feat saying you have to forfeit your movement or your attack, and usually that just means that if you're non-base to base with me, you can't attack me. However, we're talking about Circle here, where not only are there stones that can teleport you, but there's Bradigus's feet, which can then slide you forward. So they can get to you without needing to do moving stuff at all. So a lot of times in a regular matchup, what I might try and do is shoot down the stones, and then that way they can't do that type of stuff. But looking at this here, I think I want to more concentrate on that heavy on the left, take it off, pop the feet like normal, but just be up on that attrition. And of course, Dynamo can do his thing to the well. So that's what I do. I have to go up with the fireflies on either side. The firefly on the right, obviously, to catch the well, and the firefly in the center to have the heavy there, but as well just to contest that flag while being in a very annoying spot where I should have cover from most of the attacks coming my way. Once that's done, Haley goes up, feats, I move over, I temporal accelerate. The feat is really catching everything that's left in the battle group, including Bradigus, and then I TK myself backwards, so the whole battle group is all super, super sad. Then I shoot down the well on the right. On the left, I'm able to shoot down the heavy, and so I'm feeling really, really good about this. I'm not going to be in a spot where I can contest his zone, but I've contested my zone. Obviously, the flags are all contested. I'm actually in a spot where I'm threatening to score the left zone, or the left flag, rather, where I have Acosta over there, but, I know how these things work. He could probably kill it off if he really, really wants to. So I'm feeling fairly good, but the main thing is that he can teleport, he has movement shenanigans, so weird things can happen. And weird things can happen is like how my dynamo is now gone. So I'm going to explain what happened, and then I'm going to explain how it couldn't have happened. So what really happened here is that good old Guardian got teleported over. Bradigus came over, did his feet thing, so everything slided forward, and then at the end of everything slided back. And then, of course, while the Guardian was there, he killed the dynamo, and I cried. Now, here's the thing. Because I had my feet up, he had to forfeit his movement, which is why he can't just charge me or walk to me. So, okay, he got slid into me. What we screwed up is that since he was teleported by the stones there, that means he had to already forfeit his movement, meaning that he couldn't forfeit his movement for my feet, meaning that he would have to, in fact, forfeit both the movement and the attack, and then wouldn't have made any attacks against Dynamo. So at the time, we didn't catch this until, after the game, so I really shouldn't be down a Dynamo, but at this point we are, so let's deal with it. So at this point here, he's come up, he's taken some more shots at my Lancer in the middle. Again, no big deal, I can always repair it if needed. He was not able to score anything past his own zone. I got my zone. He brought in one of his little sticks men on the left side, and because he can boost the hits, he hit Acosta, killed Acosta. So he was contesting that flag anyway, but now he killed my solo anyway. I mean, I also had the Tinker there, could score later. But the main thing is that based on this board state, this is no longer good. I am now down Dynamo, who I really needed because he's the only one that's not shooting, who can actually go in and really do damage. So normally what I could do is like send in Dynamo into a heavy now, shoot down another heavy, and then be in a pretty good spot, or shoot down a couple of lights, something like that. However, I now see that attrition after this turn is really going to go against me. I mean, probably that heavy that just killed Dynamo will be killing Nemo 4. Those lights will start killing off my battle engines, if not just killing Haley. So this is really, really not good. What I do see, though, is that Bradigus is there and not camping much, and his shield guard has ran away. So I can probably pull off this assassination. If I get close enough with one of my Striders, I'll be +2 to hit, which will really just ignore then the fact that he's inside of a cloud, and I would really love it if I could be pushing him out of the cloud or knocking him down with Nemo 4, but unfortunately you can't do that stuff to Bradigus. So yeah, it's really just going to be doing another temporal acceleration, shoot, 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 and hope he dies. Now, it does work out, but I should explain that things were a little bit complicated. He had some branches in front of me, and so there was a real issue of trying to be like, okay, I gotta zap them, but I also gotta get things out of the way. And so actually the first time I did it, I messed up the activations where I zapped things with Nemo 4, then I did the activation with the Trencher Buster, and then my opponent's like, so does that mean that Nemo 4 is not going? It's like, oh, right. So we had to kind of rewind, redid it. But in the end, it really came down to the last shot, and we were really able here to kill Bradigus. So, once you get in, you're boosting the hit. He only had a couple of transfers, so the damage is going to go through, and the damage did, and then he died. So there's the game. Like I said, we talked about it after, and especially knowing the fact that my feet in conjunction with his stones means that you're forfeiting everything. it really is bad there because, I mean, in a regular game where I have Dynamo, we talked about how I could go above attrition, but you know what? This was still great. I'm playing something that I don't normally play. My opponent's playing something that he doesn't normally play. And hey, I had all these stompy lightning things that zap stuff to death. So that's cool too. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any comments on the list or the game, please post them down below. And otherwise, we'll catch you later. Bye.